The F-35 is down. They called it invisible. They called it the flying computer. They called it the crown jewel of the American empire, the $100 million stealth machine that could penetrate any defense, strike any target, and return home without a scratch. That was yesterday. Today, the crown is cracked. Today, the invisible became visible, and today, the narrative that the United States has been force-feeding the world for 20 years just exploded over the skies of Iran. This is the Persian Gambit, and this is the shot heard round the empire. What just happened? In the last 24 hours, the unthinkable happened. An American F-35 Lightning II, the most advanced, most expensive, most hyped fighter jet in human history, was on a combat mission over Iran, and it didn't come back in one piece. CNN first broke it, then CENTCOM confirmed it. The official Pentagon story? The aircraft was forced to make an emergency landing at a U.S. base in the Middle East. The pilot is stable. An investigation is ongoing. Emergency landing. That's the official term for, we got shot and we're not telling you how bad it is. But here's what they're not saying. This is the first time in history an F-35, a fifth-generation stealth fighter, has been successfully engaged by enemy fire. First time. Ever. The IRGC didn't mince words. They announced they attacked and damaged the jet. Regional media reports suggest it was likely struck by an Iranian surface-to-air missile. First time ever. And it happened on day 20 of a war where the Pentagon has been claiming Iranian air defenses are flattened, destroyed, neutralized. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, just hours before this jet was limping back to base, stood at a podium and declared, "The U.S. is winning decisively and on our terms." Winning decisively. Tell that to the pilot who just got a $100 million surprise from Tehran. This F-35 isn't a standalone loss, it's a pattern. The South China Morning Post just published the tally. 16 U.S. military aircraft destroyed since the war began. 10 Reaper drones, the hunter killers, shot down. 3 F-15s destroyed by friendly fire in Kuwait. 1 KC-135 tanker obliterated during refueling, 6 crew members dead. And now, an F-35. The Empire is losing planes faster than it can build the propaganda to cover it up. For decades, the F-35 has been the ultimate deterrent, the silent killer, the plane you can't see, can't track, can't touch. Iran just touched it. Think about what this does to military doctrine. Every country that bought the F-35, allies who paid billions for American protection, is now watching this footage and asking the same question. If Iran can hit it, who can't? Times Now reports this raises fresh concerns about the effectiveness of Tehran's air defense systems. But let's translate that from diplomatic speak to reality. The emperor's new clothes are in flames. Iran used either its indigenous Bavar 373, the S-300 killer, or Russian systems to find and strike a stealth aircraft. That's not luck. That's capability. You can't hide when the whole world is watching. And Iran was watching. And it's not just the plane, it's the supply chain, it's the morale, it's the deterrence value that just evaporated. The Pentagon just asked Congress for $200 billion for this war, and they're losing $100 million jets to missiles that cost a fraction of that. Iran is fighting a war on a budget. America is fighting a war on credit. Here's where it gets dangerous for Washington. This F-35 wasn't just a random hit. It happened in the context of Iran's retaliatory wave, triggered by the Israeli strike on South Pars. Remember that strike? Israel hit the world's largest gas field. Iran responded. In Qatar, missile strikes hit Ras, Lafan, and Industrial City, the crown jewel of LNG exports. Extensive damage, fires, chaos. Doha just ordered all Iranian military attachés to leave. In UAE, the Habshan gas facility and Bab oil field were attacked. Abu Dhabi is now calling it a dangerous escalation. In Saudi Arabia, 8 ballistic missiles were aimed at Riyadh. 4 intercepted. 1 debris field? Near a refinery south of the capital. Kuwait similarly engaged 23 drones in 24 hours in Israel Haifa oil refinery hit. And now, an F-35. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Iran just taught Newton's law to the Pentagon. The IRGC statement is clear. They attacked and damaged the jet. They're not hiding it. They're celebrating it. They just proved that American air supremacy, the foundation of every U.S. intervention since 1991, is vulnerable. Now, zoom out. Look at the full battlefield. The F-35 goes down on the same day we learn 140 million barrels of Iranian oil are stranded on tankers. The U.S. is considering unsanctioning it just to keep prices down. 95% of commercial shipping has abandoned the Strait of Hormuz. 23 Patriot systems hit. 43% of U.S. weapon stockpiles in the region destroyed. 43% in 20 days. And now, an F-35. The International Institute for Strategic Studies dropped their latest analysis. They said Iran has a superior tolerance for pain. Today, Iran proved they also have a superior tolerance for inflicting pain. The F-35 was supposed to be untouchable. It was supposed to roam the skies of Iran at will, dropping bombs with impunity, while Iranian air defenses cowered in the rubble. Instead, an Iranian missile found it, tracked it, hit it. The invisible became visible, and the visible became vulnerable. What the analysts are saying, time's now. If the report turns out to be correct, it would mark the first time a U.S. fighter jet has been hit by Iran since the start of the war. South China Morning Post. This would be the first time Iran has hit one of the $200 million planes. First time, not last time. Iran, on the other hand, has lost Intelligence Minister Khatib, Security Chief Larijani. But here's what the recent update reveals. Those losses didn't break them. Iran's air defenses are still operational. Their command structure, decentralized, hardened, adaptive, is still functioning. And their ability to hit back is not only intact, it's improving. Every bomb that drops on Tehran teaches the air defenses. Every martyr hardens the resolve. The BBC's Persian service noted, Iran's doctrine incorporates decentralized command. Local commanders have pre-authorized target lists. Communication networks are designed to operate under decapitation. So when you kill the head, the snake keeps biting. And today, that snake bit a $100 million F-35. Every capital in the world is watching this footage. Beijing is watching. Moscow is watching. New Delhi is watching. Riyadh is watching. And they're the ones who just had missiles fly over their capital while American jets couldn't protect themselves over Iran. The message is clear. American air supremacy is over. If Iran can hit an F-35, what can't they hit? The umbrella is leaking, and the rain is fire. The F-35 incident creates a cascade of problems for Washington. The technical problem, how did Iran do it? Electronic warfare? New radar frequencies? A lucky shot? Whatever the answer, the U.S. now has to go back to the drawing board on stealth technology. Billions in R&D, potentially obsolete. The political problem? Allies who bought F-35s, Japan, South Korea, UK, Israel, Italy, Australia, are now calling Lockheed Martin asking hard questions. The jet's export viability just took a massive hit. The psychological problem? U.S. pilots now know they can be tracked. They can be targeted. They can be hit. That changes tactics. That changes aggressiveness. That changes outcomes. Fear is a force multiplier. And Iran just multiplied. The strategic problem. The U.S. has been claiming victory. Hegseth said Iranian air defenses are flattened. But if they're flattened, how did they hit an F-35? The credibility gap is now a chasm.